Hello there everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my 2022 goals and also reflecting on the ones that I set myself for 2021. I do have some disclaimers before we begin though. First of all, I don't want this video to pressurise anybody into feeling like they need to set goals or they need to be productive. Feel free to take this year at your own pace and do whatever works out best for you. Personally, I just feel like setting myself some goals helps me to be more productive throughout the year, and I also really like having something to focus on. Second of all, please excuse if I look quite tired or sound a little bit bunged up. I'm currently recovering from COVID. I'm towards the end of my isolation and trying to ease myself back into everyday activities, hence the very relaxed setup today and very down-dressed outfit. I didn't feel the need to get all dressed up. I thought this video could be more sit down, chatty, very relaxed. So without any further ado, grab yourself a cup of tea or a hot chocolate or a coffee or any drink of choice. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe down below, and we'll just jump straight into it. So the other day I watched back a video which I filmed this time last year where I set my 2021 goals and shared them with you all, and I was actually quite emotional watching it, I can't lie. I'm going to quickly run through the ones that I set, tell you what I ticked off, tell you what I didn't tick off and why. So first of all, one of my goals was to save money to have fun when lockdown is over, and I definitely did that. I went to Cornwall, I did some nice activities, I met up with friends and family, and I really enjoyed myself. So even though my savings were zero by the end of the year, I didn't really regret that at all, to be honest. The next goal of mine was to pass my master's degree, and this is a key highlight for me because this time last year I was struggling so much with my degree and I really didn't think I would make it to the end. I never felt quite as low as I did at that time, and so to sit here currently with a merit in my master's degree in applied psychology, I'm really proud of that. I just can't believe that that is something that I've achieved. I also tried to tell myself that I would read more books for fun rather than just textbooks, and as excited as I was to do that, it just didn't happen, let's be honest. Master's life took me up until end of August, early September, and after that I was trying to balance having fun, working full time. There's been a lot of changes in my life this year and reading just wasn't a priority of mine, and that's okay. I also wanted to start driving, and I am so happy because I got my car on the 1st of April 2021, and it was the first car that I've owned since passing like 4.5 years ago, and I am now a confident driver, which I didn't think I'd be able to say. I thought I'd need to have lots of refresher lessons. I thought I'd completely forgot how to drive, but now I've done lots of different journeys, short, long, countryside, city, and it's safe to say that I'm confident with that now, and that's something that I'm really happy about. I love my little car, also known as Doris, and yeah, I'm just so happy that I can start driving again. Another one of my goals was the typical love myself more, and I think I kind of related this to myself in every single sense. So that was like my body and being proud of my achievements and so much more, and I kind of have half ticked this off because I think with my body this year I've kind of reached a point of being quite neutral towards it. I don't love it, I don't hate it, I just accepted it because, as I said, there was a lot of change in my life this year. There were definitely things that had to take priority. I didn't have a choice, I had to be at the top, and so my feelings towards my body just became very neutral, and I'm actually alright with that. I'm quite happy. It's been nice not to think about it quite as much. I obviously have good and bad days like everybody else, but overall I would say I'm very neutral. And then on the other hand to that, being proud of myself and my achievements is something that I have definitely ticked off. I always really struggled with that, and now I can sit here and be like, yes, I did that masters, yes, I'm a confident driver, I'm sitting in this lovely house, we're progressing, and I'm proud of where I'm at in life at the age of 22. So that feels really nice to be able to say as someone who has struggled with saying that in the past. Another one of my goals that I didn't achieve was to stop biting my lips. Now, at the time that I filmed this video last year, I believe that biting my lips was more of an anxious thing that I did when I was feeling worried or stressed. Now it has just become a bad habit and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So this year is definitely the year that I'm going to try and counteract that. I've been applying Nivea non-stop. It is only the start of January, but so far so good. So if you see me biting my lips in videos this year, I want you to call me out on it because I need to stop that ASAP, because it's really not good that I've been doing that for over a year now. It makes me feel quite sick. I'm not happy about that at all. And then another one of my goals was to continue my lockdown hobbies. This is something that I did actually manage to do, and I'm really proud of it because I always struggled to have a hobby and stick with it, and since lockdown, games nights, jigsaw puzzles, things like that have become a regular in our house, and it's really nice to have something else other than my phone that keeps me occupied. Moving on to the last two goals, I did kind of achieve these, to be honest. One of them was to be more sustainable, and I specified it to eating less meat and buying less clothing. And again, this is one that I have half ticked, because I actually think that I eat more meat now than I did this time last year. However, clothing is something that I have made a massive difference with over the past year. You may have noticed that there was way less hauls on my YouTube channel. I've tried to buy much less, particularly because with my budget at the moment, I do only tend to buy clothing from fast fashion brands. There have been times that I've branched out and bought things from Monkey, which sells a lot of sustainable clothing. However, that price range is really out of my bracket at the moment, and so because I only buy fast fashion, I have actually shopped a lot less this year, and I have a very solid summer, autumn, winter wardrobe at the moment, and don't really see myself buying any more clothes anytime soon, which is something that I'm quite happy about, to be honest. And then the last goal for me was to post on YouTube twice a week, and I am so happy, because give or take a few weeks where I've been poorly or stressed finishing off my dissertation or things like that that were just way bigger than posting on YouTube, I have actually posted twice a week, once on a Wednesday at 5 PM, which is a sit down chatty video like this one, and once on a Sunday at 5 PM, which is typically a vlog. And I'm so happy about it, because that is another one of my lockdown hobbies that I have actually continued, and I really enjoy this. This is my little escape. So thank you to everybody who is joining me on the journey and has watched my videos for a little while, or even just for a short while. I really appreciate you all being here. I love filming these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them as well. And those were all of my goals for 2021. As you can see, I did manage to tick off quite a lot of them, which is something that at the time of setting them, I wasn't sure whether that was going to happen or not. So now to look back on that a year later, I am so happy that I managed to tick off so much. And the ones that I didn't manage to tick off as much, that's absolutely fine. I didn't really make them SMART goals last year. There wasn't really a time frame on lots of them, whereas this year there is. I have made my goals much more SMART, so that's definitely something that I'm going to be improving on when it comes to goal setting. Now moving on to my 2022 goals, as I've just mentioned, I have made my goals more SMART this year. However, I'm going to speak about them in a more broad sense, and I'll explain as I go through, but I'm not going to specify things, and I'm going to get the two big ones out of the way first, because if you've watched my Christmas wrap and chat with me, you'll know that there's two massive things that are happening for me this year. The first one being is that I should be starting a new job at some point within the next few months, and I am so 50-50 about it at the moment. And so one of my goals is to really immerse myself into my new job, really try and take it as a learning opportunity, a chance to develop my psychological skills. The reason I'm 50-50 about all of this at the minute is because I am loving my current job, and I'm going to be so gutted to leave it, but also the group facilitator job, which I will be starting, has got more opportunities for me on a psychological level, and so I couldn't turn that down. So I am hoping to really just try hard to focus and learn within that job this year and give it a good chance without writing it off too quickly. Another thing that I mentioned in that wrap and chat video was the fact that myself and Charlie are actually hoping to buy a house this year. And when I said that I wasn't going to speak about my goals too specifically and just give you a broad overview, this is kind of what I mean, because I'm going to say in this video that my goal is to buy a house. However, there's also lots of mini goals within that, such as getting a mortgage, like finding the correct house, you know, things like that that are smaller goals within the bigger one. So I am just going to tell you the bigger ones within this video just to save time and not make things too specific. But buying a house is definitely on the list this year. I really hope that when I'm filming this video next year, I'm going to be sitting in a completely different living room. Now moving on to the goals that I haven't spoken about on my YouTube channel, I have wrote down quite a few here that are good in variety, but also the first one I'm about to tell you all kind of categorises all of the rest. It's more of an overarching goal, and that is to prioritise more effective self-care. And what I mean by that is when I have days off work currently, I think self-care sometimes is me scrolling in bed on my phone for hours, but then I feel sad that I've wasted the day, when really what I need to do is just prioritise effective self-care. So my mission this year is to find things that I know are self-care for me, that work well on my days off, that I can use to the best of my ability basically. Leading on from that, and as I said, these next few goals can all kind of come underneath that self-care bracket, but they are a little bit more specific. I would love to read more books this year, and to make that a bit more of a smart goal, I'm aiming to read 10 books this year. I am almost at the end of one, which is so good because it's only the start of January, so I am off to a good start. I will be sharing book recommendations a lot more on my channel this year, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those. I would also love to see my family and friends more. Now this is quite difficult because whilst I'm saving for a house, I don't want to be doing loads of travelling and spending lots of petrol going to people, so it is a bit of a hit or miss, but it is something that I'd like to do more of, even if it's just as simple as a FaceTime call to my nieces and nephews. I would just like to engage with my friends and family a little bit more because I feel like that's something that I've missed out on, especially over lockdown. So hopefully this year you'll be seeing a little bit more of that. Another goal of mine, which I think I have briefly mentioned, is to continue with my walking or start a new fitness hobby. Now last year I did a walking challenge from Land's End to John O'Groats. It was virtual. I really enjoyed it. It helped me get up off my bum, which I've been sat on for most of 2020, and really start exercising, which I loved, and the walks for me were so therapeutic and so lovely. No matter what the weather, I never regretted a walk. I only regretted not doing one, and so I would love to continue with that this year. Another goal of mine is to go on another hike, so if you know of any beginners hikes in the UK, then please drop them down below. We've only got a few more goals left, and the next one is to do more household chores. Recently, over the past year, I've definitely been slacking when it comes to cleaning up around the house, and Charlie does do a lot of it, so 2022 is a year that I pick up the rubber gloves, pick up my pace, and I try and help out a lot more around the house. Another goal of mine, which is kind of hard, is to stop mindlessly scrolling as much. I do find that on my days off in the morning, I can quite easily spend 2 or 3 hours in bed on my phone having a scroll. I'll check Instagram, I'll check Snapchat, I'll play one of my games, and then I'll go back to the beginning and I'll do it all over again, and that's just something that I want to do a bit less of. For example, I said earlier that I wanted to read more. I've been trying to read before bed rather than go on social media. I want to be more productive and meaningful with my time, and so I definitely need to reduce the time that I spend on my phone in the mornings and in the evenings. And I've actually hit the last goal, but after reading through my 2021 goals, I realised that I didn't have a sustainability goal, and I feel like that is a big no-no. I feel like every year I should be setting a goal that relates to sustainability, and so I would obviously love to carry on the way that I am with my clothing and buy much less, and then when I buy clothing, once I've got a few more savings behind my back and we've bought a house, I would like to make more informed choices and try and buy from places that are a little bit more expensive but more sustainable. So I'd love to carry on with that and keep working towards that. But one of the main things I have wrote down as my goal for this year is to buy less plastic on my food shop, because this is something that we started to get really good at, and now for whatever reason we've just gone back to how we were before. For the last few months I've just been going in and buying peppers and courgettes in plastic, and there's not really any need for that. So I definitely want to get the reusable bags back out this year, buy much less plastic when it comes to fresh produce, and also if I'm going into like the fridges and buying chicken or anything like that, just seeing where I can reduce the plastic consumption there, because I do think that is one of the main ways that I can help the environment out, because at the moment I am using a lot of plastic that is quite unnecessary. So that is my last goal that I've set myself for 2022. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe down below. Comment down below what your goals are for 2022. I'd love to hear them. It might give me a bit of motivation to go for mine. And other than that, I just hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon in the next video. Goodbye.